Good evening, everyone out in Crossroads of America Council. Welcome to a very special night, a rally specifically for Hooked on Scouting. We will get to what that is here in just a moment. But first off, my name is Matthew Kennedy. For those of you who do not know me, I am the brand new 2021 Fall Recruiting Chair for Crossroads of America Council, and my job is to help you, the unit leaders and district volunteers in our council, to prepare for fall recruiting coming up later this year, which may raise the question, why in the world am I coming to you live in March on a Monday evening if we're talking about fall recruiting? And the important distinction is we're not. Fall recruiting is going to start a little bit earlier this year, specifically with spring recruiting. Saturday was the first day of spring, and I think it's high time that we all spring into scouting, as it were. And we're going to get started a little bit earlier than normal because of the very unusual year that we've had. The pandemic has made things very difficult over the past 12 months. We're well aware of that. But we want to offer the opportunity for as many people to be able to get involved in scouting and get re-energized and back outdoors and doing the outdoor activities that we all know and love as soon as possible. So to that end, we're here tonight to introduce our spring recruiting program, Hooked on Scouting. And to do that, he's not able to join us live tonight, but I do want to introduce the council's overall membership chair, Steve Creason. He has a special message for everyone, and he's going to introduce our topic for tonight, and we'll take off into discussion after that. So, Steve, take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Steve Creason, and I'm your Crossroads of America Council membership chair and a member of PAC 444 and Troop 446 in the Fall Creek District. It's been my pleasure to help all of our districts and units build plans to recruit new families each year. Every year, our community sees scouting's impact. We pass out flyers and talk to kids in schools, train volunteers to onboard new families, host Cub Scout Fun Days for our new families, and find ways to make the experience fun for all. Speaking about recruiting families, we're having a great time planning for our May 2nd Hooked on Scouting Days. On May 2nd, families across central Indiana will be invited to come join scouting and learn to fish. We're prepared for 1,000 new scouts to join our ranks this spring, and we've got brand new fishing poles coming in to give away to our new members. We're inviting them to 20 community fishing days and partnering with Indiana Fish and Wildlife. It's going to be a great day to join scouting and get outside. In addition, be sure to catch us on September 25th, where you will find scouts fishing everywhere throughout central Indiana. Our membership recruitment theme this year is Hooked on Scouting, and we're so excited to provide a fishing pole and perhaps a family's first fishing experience together this fall. Be on the lookout for a flyer or marketing piece this summer for more information on where you can participate on September 25th.
Thank you so much, Steve. And it is a very exciting event. There's going to be a few things that we do that lead up to May 2nd. We're going to be in many districts doing third Saturday events, the first of which for many districts took place this past Saturday, to help introduce scouting to new and potential scout families throughout our 26 counties here in central Indiana that Crossroads of America Council oversees. But ultimately, we're building up to May 2nd, and that's why we're here tonight. Hooked on Scouting is all about providing as many opportunities to reach new families as possible, and through this program, we hope to do so. And to talk about that tonight, I would like to introduce Mr. Kelly McPherson, who is the Assistant Director of Field Service here for Crossroads America Council. Kelly, thank you so much for joining me tonight. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Can you give us a little bit of insight as to what the Hooked on Scouting event on May 2nd is going to look like, kind of what the mechanics are going to be? And if I remember correctly, Steve said something about free fishing poles. Can you give us a little bit of an insight on that as well?
Yeah, Steve did say that. I'll get to that in just a second. But I want to tell you, those days on May 2nd are not just going to be about fishing. They're going to be about so much more than that. Our current Cub Scout packs and district committees and volunteers are going to be helping us put on just fun days that also has an opportunity to go fishing on May 2nd. So Cub Scouts might have the opportunity to do archery or shoot a BB gun for the first time, or play field games with each other. And then they're also going to get the opportunity where they're going to learn to fish. And we're going to be partnering with Indiana Fish and Wildlife from the DNR. That's going to help us put on some great programs and give us access to some tools and train some of our volunteers so that we can have the best fishing programs that we can. And all that's going to happen on May 2nd. And we've got about 20 locations around the council where those are going to happen at. You can look for those coming out real soon. And we're going to start a marketing campaign. You'll probably see it on Facebook or some other social media, driving new families to come to those days on May 2nd. But Steve did talk about a fishing pole. And for every new scout that joins, and in addition, if a current scout gets a buddy to join, that scout will also get a free fishing pole. So, and I've got one of those right here with me. So it's a nice fishing pole. I've had it tested by a couple of people that are good fishermen, which I am not, but they are. And they said it's good. It's great for kids. It doesn't have any pieces you have to put together, and this is what you're going to get. So if you're looking for these, you can probably find one of these at Cabela's or something like that. This company sells a lot to Cabela's, but we're getting them straight from the manufacturer, so we got a good price that we can give one to everybody. And how are you going to get these poles? You're probably thinking. So if you join this spring, you join this spring, fill out an application, or you get a buddy to join, and then you and your buddy will both get a coupon. Got that here. Turn it around for you. That you can turn in the Crossroads Outfitters Scout Shop after April 26th, or you can bring this to one of the May 2nd free fishing days, and you can turn it in at either place to get your pole. Like I said, before May 2nd, we'll have these at the Crossroads Outfitters Scout Shop here at the Goldenberg Scout Center in East Indianapolis, or you can bring them to one of the May 2nd events in your district. And like I said, we've got 20 of those going on around the council, so there's plenty of places for you to get this on. Get this coupon and turn it in for your free fishing pole. But you got to join Scouts, so make sure you're getting applications filled out, and we're getting those new Scouts to come to these events, because that's where the magic's going to happen at, and we're going to get these kids hooked on scouting. So, Matt?
Excellent. Now, you had mentioned with the coupons that people are going to get these, and they need to come to the Scout Shop to redeem those. Signing up in person at the events, specifically on May 2nd, is going to be the primary way for people to get those coupons. Let's say that somebody wants to sign up online, and there is still the ability to register online via joinscoutsin.org. It was an online system that we had for fall recruiting that made online registration very simple for new scouts across our council. I know my units used it as well. Let's say that someone signs up online. What's going to be the easiest way for somebody to get that coupon in return for registering electronically?
Probably the best way to do that is just to come into the Scout Shop. So we'll be able to track any new registrants that come in online, and have we can easily write your scout's name right on this and have it up front for Rob in the Scout Shop at Crossroads Outfitters to deal with, and you can pick it up there. So
excellent.
That's probably the easiest way.
Fantastic. And you mentioned Rob's name, and you're saying the word Scout Shop. I think there's a little bit of a message that we have from Rob that I'm going to share here real quick, because the Scout Shop is no longer the Scout Shop.
Right.
You're wearing a very convenient patch on your vest, the king of seamless segues here. The Scout Shop is now called Crossroads Outfitters, correct?
It is called Crossroads Outfitters, and that's new to a lot of people. That change has happened over basically the holiday and early spring this year. We've got our new signage up, and we're branded as Crossroads Outfitters now, which means we're more than a scout shop.
Well,
so
and
Crossroads Outfitters is more than that, and I think Rob might even have a special message for us to tell us more about it.
Well, he does. So let's hear from Rob, and let's introduce Crossroads Outfitters to everybody who's on the call right now.
Hey everybody, it's Rob at Crossroads Outfitters. We wanted to take a brief minute and give you a tour of the store, show you some of the great new things we have going on this spring. As always, we've got some spectacular new apparel items we've just brought in for you. We're very excited to announce Gregory Backpack is going to be our new rental sponsor for the season. We've got some fantastic new models from them for kids, for ladies and for men. Consequently, we've got a great deal going on some of our formal runner fleet, and we're looking to get rid of them at bargain basement prices. Vask Boots has got new products out for the season, and we're super pleased to introduce the Breeze LT, which is their new light trail model, and the Talus All-Terrain. We've got furniture needs to suit whatever it is you're looking for. We've got great new hammock offerings from both Grand Trunk and from Eagle's Nest Outfitters. And as always, we've got whatever cook equipment, freeze-dried food, or water purification items you could need. This year, we're pleased to offer brand new sleeping bag models from both Climate and Kelty and Peregrine. And we've got new tents coming in all of the time in any size or shape to suit you, your troop, or your family. And as always, we've got all of the scouting merchandise and equipment that you could ever want. Your uniforms, your awards, your advancements, your literature is all here. So come on in and see us. Thank you.
So that was Rob Tankersley sharing that message with us. There's going to be a lot more information coming out about everything going on with this program. Kelly and I have created a new Facebook group. So if you are out here in Crossroads America Council and you are in any way affiliated with marketing or membership or recruiting for your unit or for your district, I encourage you to go to facebook.com/groups/membership CAC. Go to that membership group. It's a private group. You'll fill out a quick form to apply to get in, and inside that group, we will have the opportunity to discuss everything membership and everything recruiting for units here in our council. Especially as we're getting into spring recruiting, it's a great opportunity to ask questions, discuss issues, throw out ideas, brainstorm. And so it's going to be a one-stop shop to be able to do all of those conversations. So if you are in any way involved in recruiting, please go to this link and sign up to join us as soon as possible. Kelly, you're one of the moderators for this group. Do you have any topics that you look forward to talking about most as we get into spring recruiting?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing a lot from units that are, working on social media or working with their parent-teacher organizations or their elementary schools and how they recruit kids directly working with those groups. I mean, we've done flyers and we go talk in schools. We're experienced with that stuff. But who's our out of the box thinkers out there that have got some great ideas and have had success? I'm aware of one pack last year that recruited about 30 new scouts, and they did it all through their PTO and PTA Facebook groups for their school. And I think they maybe served more than one school. So, but that was pretty impressive to watch that pack do that and only do it on social media, and didn't put a single flyer through the school that I'm aware of. Maybe they did, but this is where they got their kids from this route, and that's pretty exciting to see. The world's changing a little bit, and those of us with kids see everybody's on these phones and paying attention to social media, and people are paying attention to that. And parents are paying attention to it, not just kids. So it's a great way to do that. But I'm excited about new ideas and what people can bring to the table. So.
And speaking of people with posting new ideas, I want to thank there are a lot of people who are joining us on multiple platforms. If you're on Facebook or on YouTube or on Periscope or on LinkedIn, know that there are people watching on those other three. So if you have a comment or a question or a concern or idea, please put it in the chat wherever you may be watching right now, because we can put them up on the screen just like I'm about to do with Mr. Branko Granis, who's joining us. If you're on Facebook and you're looking for the link to the membership group that I just talked about and put up on the screen, he has put it into the chat, and you can now click that link directly and go straight in. But if you have a comment or a question or something that you would like to talk about, please put it in the chat. We'll get it here on a 10 to 20 second delay, so give us a hot minute. We can bring them up and discuss as we go. Speaking of which, Kelly, I'm going to move on to my next topic. Can you hang around a little bit for questions here in just a moment?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll bring you back here in just a second. Thank you so much, Kelly, for your information so far. Other thing that I do want to mention, and I said that we've got a lot more information that's coming out in addition to the membership group on Facebook. Another way that we're getting out this information is what you're seeing now via live stream video, kind of the breaking news in our own little news channel here for Crossroads of America Council. One way to make sure that you're getting the latest and greatest is to like, share, or subscribe wherever you may be. So if you're on Facebook and you've not liked the Crossroads America Council's Facebook page, please make sure you do that and then like this video. You can get alerts on when we're going live there. On YouTube specifically, though, it's all an algorithm thing. Make sure that you're subscribed to our council's YouTube channel and click the alarm bell that's up next to the subscribe button and select that you want to receive all alerts, essentially get all of our content. That way you can get alerts the minute that we go live with a live stream or the minute that we put up a new video. We're going to be doing a lot of our information for the recruiting season this year through video, especially through our social media channels. So to get you the information that you need, to get you the training, to get you the recruiting tips that will benefit your unit, being subscribed to that is the best thing you can do to stay up to date. Now, another reason that we're doing the spring recruiting, obviously we want to invite more families to join us in scouting. We also want to invite families that may have gotten away from scouting because of the pandemic. There may be some families who weren't comfortable getting back in. We would love to have them come back and join us. But another reason for doing this spring recruiting instead of waiting until the fall, we would love to have as many of these new scouts be able to experience their first summer camp this summer instead of signing up in the fall and waiting all the way until 2022 to go to summer camp. We would love to have them join us right now. And to speak to that point, we have Mr. Matthew Long. He is the camp director for Belzer Daycamp, and he's able to join us this evening to talk a little bit about the summer camp experience and what we can do with the spring recruiting to help with that. So, Matthew, welcome to the stream tonight. It's a pleasure to have you. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here to talk a little bit about summer camp.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I enjoyed having you for a Pathfinder District Roundtable one time, also via live stream. It's great to be able to do it with you now, council-wide. So tell us not just what's going on with Belzer, but obviously summer camp in general, especially at the Cub Scout level. I know we've got 4 different options happening at I don't know how many different properties. Walk everybody through that a little bit, because I know there's a lot to digest.
There certainly is, and this conversation isn't specifically directed towards summer camp. The reason we're here this evening, but I do think it's really important. So I'm going to talk through some of our options and then give you a resource where you can really dive into some more of that information. Simply because we just don't have time to walk through every single step. But I'm going to outline 5 opportunities this summer. First of which is our regional day camp program. These are 5 different day camps, week-long day camps that are occurring across the council starting June 7th. 3 different weeks, 5 different opportunities throughout the council. So again, make sure to check those out. They are great. They are traditional day camp. They have a great opportunities for advancement, BB gun, archery, and much more. So a fantastic program. Camp Belzer is operating 2 different treks within our own program. We have our day camp trek that is focused on our Tigers and Wolf Scouts, which are some of our youngest Cub Scouts. So definitely most important with our spring recruitment efforts here. We're going to be interested in impacting those Scouts this summer. That program is kind of the traditional Camp Belzer program, if you're familiar with that. So that is swimming, woodworking, obstacle courses, a zip line, BB guns, archery, and so much more. Fantastic program as well. The second track at Belzer is what we're calling Belzer Daycamp, which is for all youth, regardless of their membership in the BSA, from grades 3 all the way up to 8th grade. So a great swath of of youth that can participate in this program. We're going to we're going to split those groups into a little bit more so that we can kind of work with those different age groups. They are very different. An 8th grader and a 3rd grader don't learn the same way, but this program is going to focus in on a very specialized theme each week. So we have wilderness survival, we have aquatics, we have conservation. We have so many different options within these specialized theme weeks for scouts and youth to participate in programs that they're most interested in. They will be learning from subject matter experts about these very specific topics. Activities include wilderness survival, shelter building, and backpacking, and fishing, and so much more on the various different weeks. The next two opportunities I want to talk about are very exciting and a slight change to what we've done in years past here in the Crossroads America Council, but we're still really excited about it, which is Family Camp and Arrow of Life Camp. So Family Camp is occurring, and this is a little bit different, but it is occurring at Kick the Weenin in the month of June, and will be occurring at Cretenstein in the month of July. So Kick the Weenin is on the north side of Indianapolis. Cretenstein is on the west side of the state, near Brazil, Indiana, and Terre Haute area. But Family Camp is a great opportunity. So if you have kids in different age groups, some are tigers and some are wolves and some are bears, Family Camp is an opportunity where your family can come to camp together. They will get to camp together. They will get to participate in programs together. The program is specifically designed for those bears and Webelos scouts, but that's not exclusive. There will be activities for the younger scouts and older scouts and youth that want to be participating in this program. So that is a fantastic opportunity, especially if you have a spread of children in different age groups and different ranks within Cub Scouting. And then the last opportunity I want to talk about is Arrow of Light Camp. Now, this is the opportunity for our oldest Cub Scouts right before they cross over into Scouts BSA, but it is a fantastic opportunity for them to really prepare themselves to moving into a long-term resident camp. So this is a 5-day experience where they get to stay overnight. Again, in June, will be occurring at Camp Kick the Weenin, and in July will be occurring at Camp Cretenstein. So this program will include some of the traditional day camps. It'll be advancement focused, but it will also include activities that will prepare them for that crossover into Scouts BSA, including a Scouts BSA outpost opportunity where they're going to be able to form a patrol, work on a patrol yell, and really bond as a den and prepare to move into the Scouts BSA. So these are all, like I said, the 10,000 foot view of the opportunities this summer. A lot of amazing opportunities for anyone that's interested in participating in various different types of programs and activities. To find out more about this and to register, you're going to want to go to crossroadsbsa.org/camping. That's crossroadsbsa.org/camping. It's got all the resources that you want to know, the parent leader guides. It's got the Journey On catalog. It's got so much good resource for both promotions and for information for parents, as well as the link to register. So consider registering today. We'd love to see you this summer. We have a lot of great things coming out of the camping department and can't wait to see you there. Back to you,
Awesome.
Matthew.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Long. It's definitely appreciated. We do have a question that came in on the chat, and just a reminder to everybody who's out there, if you have a question, if you have a comment, please put it in the chat so that we can address it here. We will have time for questions at the end where we're going to have all three of us on screen at the same time. So if you got a question for Kelly, put it in. We'll definitely discuss that. And while I'm asking this question, for everybody else out there, we did get a comment from Lindsay, as soon as I find my mouse cursor here, just checking in, saying that Pac 218 was here. Welcome, Pac 218. We love having you. Everybody, just jump in on the chat on whichever platform you may be on. Let us know which district you're joining us from, or which unit you're joining us from. We would love to see everybody out there where you're watching from. And if you're watching the recording after the fact, we'd love to know that as well. So feel free to chime in on the chat when you do that. But the question that came in was from Jay Susi. I'm not sure which camp he's referring to, but will all PAC youth be grouped together when dens are put together? In their case, they did not sign up together, but I'm assuming that they noted their PAC in their registrations. So maybe they're referring to Belzer. They could be referring to the district day camps. I'm not quite sure which one, but can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
And Lucky, the answer is easy regardless of what camp Jay was speaking about. The system, when we register, automatically pairs everyone based on their unit number. I can't even pull a report that has youth that are not together based on unit. So the system is very much so designed for scouts, the scouting program. So if you input the correct unit number, regardless of how you're registering and regardless for the summer camp you're registering for, we will be able to put these together. So day camps, they're going to be in the same group together. At family camp, one family unit's going to be camped next to the other family unit from the same unit. Whatever program we're looking at, the system is very much so designed designed to pair everyone together. So, and Jay even stumbled on kind of something that we would even recommend as a unit. You don't necessarily need to register every single person for your unit yourself. The registration system allows for parents to put the registration in for themselves, which kind of puts that responsibility a little bit on the parents, but also saves you from having to, deal with checks or credit card payments or anything. It can all be taken care of. So certainly a recommendation of ours that, parents can sign up their own.
Excellent. And the other important thing, I just want to make sure we get this out here. Obviously we're talking about spring recruiting, but for the summer camp part, there's a very important deadline coming up on what used to be tax day before everything got pushed back to May 17th. That announcement from the governor of the state of Indiana earlier today, if you didn't catch it, extra news for you for watching Crossroads American Council News. But what is the Crossroads deadline on April 15th that is not moving?
That's right. It's not moving. And the April 15th deadline this year is the early bird. So after early bird, the fees will go up. So if you're considering summer camp at this point and you still may be on the fence, the time to act is now. April 15th is that deadline. Prices will go up to about $20, $25 more than what they are currently. So definitely recommend checking those out before they go up.
Fantastic. Matt, I'm going to jump off for a second to discuss something else, and then we'll come back for questions. You're able to stick around for a moment?
That's right. I'm here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your information so far. We'll see you here in just a second. So in talking about spring recruiting and in looking at the Hooked on Scouting event, there will be locations throughout our council. This is not going to happen in one place. Every single district in our council will have at least one location for the Hooked on Scouting event, and in some cases as many as 3 or perhaps even 4. I think 3 is the most I know of so far in one district, but there may be more set up. That information will be coming out. So again, make sure that you're in our chat group. Make sure that you're subscribed to all of our social media channels to get that information as it's released. We will be setting up individual Facebook events for each location as they are set up by each district. So once we have that, it will be up on Facebook so that you can take those and share them with your units. You can add them to your unit's events calendar. This is a fantastic way to help get your packs, even your troops. This is not just a Cub Scouting type of event. Obviously, it's focused on Cub Scouts, but if you have younger troop members that you would like to also recruit, get them involved as well. We would love to be able to bring in some 6th, 7th, possibly even 8th graders into the program this spring at the same time. Which brings me ultimately to what you can do to help in this process. The Hooked on Scouting spring recruiting season is really about helping your units be able to recruit and grow and become stronger going into summer, and then ultimately the next school year and the next program year, at least as far as packs are concerned with their operations. The first and foremost, the best thing that you can do to help out is to share this information with as many people as you can. If you have social media channels, if you have websites, if you have distribution lists, as you know the location of the events that are going to be in your area, be sure to share those with your scout families. The best recruiting individuals for scouting, bar none, there's not even a close second place, are the scouts that you already have in your unit. Getting them to invite their friends, getting them to bring them to an event such as Hooked on Scouting, where it's outdoors, it's guaranteed to be a fun activity, it's doing something that they may not have done before, it's showing them what scouting can be in the outdoor learning environment that we have. That is the best referral that we can get, is from the scouts that you already have. So make sure every family in your unit knows about these events as they come up so that they can help promote them. On your social media channels, as we mentioned, we're going to be doing some promotional advertising for these as well in each of the communities throughout our council where these events are taking place. If you see one of those, be sure to share it out. Share that out to your network of contacts. Share that out to your friends. Even if there's somebody in your network, you don't have somebody in your network that is necessarily interested, or they don't have a scout-aged youth now, maybe they will in the future. Maybe it's a younger, preschool kind of student, and it's putting the information in their mind now. It could also be that they know a friend where it's, oh, hey, I know John and Susie, they have a child who would be a great scout right now. Let me get it to them. The more that we spread it, the more we'll be able to reach the people who need it, the families who are looking to join scouting. So that's item number one. Item number two, and Kelly kind of mentioned this as he was talking new ideas. My own pack, my unit, we did a lot of social media advertising for our fall recruiting. We also did a lot with our local PTOs and PTAs. Contact your school. Your district executive, your district directors can also do that, but ultimately the relationships that you have with your schools are paramount. And if you can reach out and say, hey, we've got this great event coming up, can we send you a flyer? Can we put out something in an announcement letting people know that they can still join scouting? If they couldn't join in the fall, they can join us now and get started here at the end of the year and go to summer camp this summer, because a lot of families are looking for that outdoor opportunity. Helping spread the word to the schools and set up those events through them to get the word out to the students in those schools is a great help that you can do. And then third, volunteer to assist at one of the events. The only way that these events can be successful is if they are done well. And in order for them to be done well, it requires manpower. So work with your local district committees. Contact your district committee's membership chair. They have already been involved in conference calls involving Hooked on Scouting where we've begun discussing it. Contact your district's activities or programs chair, whoever it is that's helping to set up the event, your district committee chair. Let them know that you're willing to help out. It doesn't have to be much. It could be helping at the registration table, helping with people filling out applications, which many of us know how to do it. We've all done it at least once because we're involved in scouting. Maybe it's helping teach a youth how to fish because they've never used a fishing pole before. A fishing pole isn't a foreign object for me. I am a horrible fisherman. But there are some people out there who are avid fishermen, and you could help teach that skill. Having people to simply say hi and be a smiling face, having some of your older scouts from the troop level go to the events and helping to recruit new Cub Scouts, because that will help in your troop recruiting later on down the line. The more people we can have involved and at these events, not just to attend, but also to volunteer and to give of our time and our talents to help bring the scouting experience to a new generation of scouts, the better these events will be run. And ultimately, a well-run event will attract more people to it. So please, if you have the opportunity, reach out to your district committee and see how you can volunteer and how you can assist. So I want to bring everybody back in. So we've got Kelly, we've got Matt. Welcome back. We did have a question that came in from somebody here real quick. And Kelly, it's going to be directed to you. But everybody out there, again, if you have a question, if you have a comment, we've kind of talked about the things that we were going to discuss. This is now your show, quite literally. So if you have something that you want to ask or talk about, put it in the chat. We'll bring it up on screen, which brings me to question number 1 from Brant Gerganis. So Kelly, the joinscoutsIN.org form was mentioned in conjunction with recruiting for the free fishing poles. So what about paper applications and the national online application, i.e. if somebody goes to beascout.org instead of joinscoutsIN.org, how are we going to handle the couponing process through any of those different channels? Obviously, at the May 2nd event, people are getting it there. At the third Saturday events, people can be getting them there. Talk a little bit about the other ways as well, again, just to make sure we've got it clear.
So pretty simple. If it comes in electronically, either through Be a Scout or Join Scouts In, the process is the same. So we'll get those applications. We see them. We process them. We can write a scout's name on the card and have it up in the Crossroads Outfitters for them to pick up. If it comes on a paper application, your district executive has a stack of these available to them that they can trade you for those applications. So you give them 4 applications, they'll give you 4 of these for those new scouts. So it's that simple. You have to contact through them. And that's probably the easiest answer, Brant. So I appreciate that question. It's important. So I did want to add, while I was sitting here, I think I just approved 6 new people onto our Facebook group while Matt was talking in his last monologue. So,
Well, and we appreciate everyone joining. I hope that 6 turns into 60. It's going to be a fantastic forum, and if you like hearing my voice or seeing my smiling face, it's definitely the place to be because you're going to see a lot of it. Tucker LaPrade, the district director for Pathfinder, he just wanted to send a shout out, and I thought I'd share it to everybody who, whichever platform you may be on. A shout out to PAC 218 in Trafalgar. They proactively contacted their principal, got paper and electric flyers in the school, and they got 8 new scouts that visited the Pathfinder district event they did this past Saturday, and 5 of them joined on the spot. So 1 unit, 5 new scouts in 1 day. If you're wondering why we're talking about spring recruiting instead of waiting for the fall, that's it. We have the opportunity to reach a lot of new scouts, and yes, it's late in the year, and yes, it's not necessarily what our program normally would be, but we can make that happen, and we can do things to make sure those scouts have the opportunity to earn advancement, to have a great time this spring, go to summer camp, and then have a fresh start in the fall as well. Corey Harbeck has a question. Kelly, I think this is going to be for you as well. Is there a date range that they can get the voucher for the free fishing pole? So obviously you said that they can pick up starting April 26th, I think is the date you said. What is the starting date where they can start getting these certificates?
you can get them now. So all those scouts that joined this Saturday got one of these already. So I was at an event at Belzer this weekend that passed out. I don't know, they had 7 new scouts sign up at Belzer this weekend and got one of these. So those scouts in Trafalgar, I'm sure they got one of these too. So, but so the date, and they can pick them up in the scout shop all the way up until I think May 1st is a Saturday that the scout shop will be open. And on May 2nd, which is Sunday, is when we'll have the free fishing day with the Department of Fish and Wildlife. And those fishing poles will then be at events. So,
gotcha.
So you can get one now.
And I think it is important. We've mentioned it a few times in passing, but it is important to reinforce part of the reason that Hooked on Scouting is on Sunday, May 2nd. Yes, it is a Sunday, and we do realize that will cause some complications for some people, depending on if they're going to church or depending on their religious beliefs. That said, we're going to be setting up the events with time frames that allow for attendance after church. Is that correct, Kelly?
Correct. Almost everything I've seen is probably in the 1 to 3 range. There's some variance there, but it's after lunch mostly.
Okay, and then the other important reason that we're doing this is Sunday, May 2nd is a free fishing day in the state of Indiana by the Department of Wildlife, which means no one needs a permit. Obviously, scouts, scout age generally don't need one anyway, but this is making it where the adults, the Akalas, parents, guardians, grandparents, whoever may be coming, no one needs a permit that day. Is that correct?
That's correct. I think the normal law in Indiana is anyone under the age of 18 can fish for free anyway. But once you turn 18, you have to have a fishing license. But the Department of Fish and Wildlife has 4 days a year that they give a reprieve on that. May 2nd is the first one. There's 2 over the summer in June or July. We're not really focused on those, but we're also focused on the one on September 25th that you heard Steve Creason talking about in his video. We'll repeat this exact same thing in the fall around that free fishing day as well. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Fantastic. And then, Matt, a question for you as far as summer camp goes. We're obviously going to have a lot of scouts with some free fishing poles. Do they have the opportunity to use those fishing poles at summer camp this year? Is it something where maybe they could have those with them to use on property, or are there fishing activities that will be taking place at any of the summer camps? Kind of, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah. So I'd say, as far as I know, there is a fishing program occurring, or some sort of fishing activity occurring at all of our summer camps. So this is a great opportunity to get ready for summer camp. You can come on out, and during summer as well, you'll be able to fish. I know Kick the Weenin has a great fishing spot. They use that continuously through the summer. Family Camp and Arrow of Light Camp, both occurring there in June, will be fantastic fishing opportunities up there. So yeah, definitely check it out. Bring your fishing pole.
Excellent. Another question that came in for you, Matt, that has to do with summer camp from Robert Bissell. Robert, great friend. Good to see that you're here, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Please clarify the age groups at camp. So, for example, a bear now would be looking at Weeblos camp. So I know that there can be some confusion there because we think of the scouts at the age they are now. They're obviously a different age next fall. When they go to summer camp, which is in between those 2 points, what do we consider them?
Yeah, that's a great question.
We're looking at the rank ahead. So if you have a Lion Scout right now, you would want to sign up for Tiger and Wolf Camp occurring at Camp Belzer. If you've got a Webelos 1 or just Webelos, you're going to be looking at Arrow of Light Camp or Webelos 2 Camp, just so that you are looking always one rank ahead.
Excellent. And then so obviously the camps at Camp Belzer, including both the traditional and the themed weeks, the camps at Kick the Weenan and Cretenstein for family and Arrow of Light Adventure, those all have a little bit more specific as far as the tier goes, but regional day camps, which are a great entry-level day camp option for a lot of families, those are for all grade levels regardless. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah. So regional day camps, which again are those 5 opportunities occurring throughout central Indiana starting June 7th, those are open to all Cub Scout aged all at once. So they can all attend the program all together if you would.
All right, excellent. And one final call for everybody out there. If you have a question you'd like to ask, please put it in the chat. We've gotten a lot of great feedback so far, and we really do appreciate it. If I don't see anything here in a second, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. But I do want to just take a moment and say, Kelly, Matt, thank you so much for being on with me tonight. It's fantastic being able to talk and communicate to our council through this live video stream, through this live methodology. And forgive me, I'm being interrupted by a 4-year-old. This happens on live TV, folks. Sorry about that. William, give me just a second, please, okay? It's great having you here so that we can talk to people live and answer questions live and be able to give instant feedback. So I appreciate you taking a Monday night out of your time and being with me. Thank you so much, guys.
Man, I appreciate the same from you
have...
for taking the Monday night. So go ahead, Matthew.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And I just have one last thing. I got reminded of it, but I think it's really important mentioning, especially when it comes to summer camp. I was trying to fit it in as best as I could, but Camperships are available to summer camp. So Camperships is just a scholarship program, if you would, to summer camp. So when we're talking spring recruitment, maybe they've just signed the application, maybe they've just paid their fee. Camperships is an opportunity for families to still attend summer camp if they're struggling financially. So finances should never be a reason for a scout not to attend camp. And just wanted to point that out, that is available to them. And again, it's still on that crossroadsbsa.org/camping website is where you'd be able to find that application. But I did want to bring that up as just kind of a closing comment from the camping side of things.
Here on that. And I will take that to piggyback with one more item. The way that we support those camperships, the way that we support the scouts is through the charitable giving that people can do. So if you are in a position where you don't need the scholarship and you're on the other end of the spectrum, if you're in a position where you can help support camperships, March 25th is the first ever CAC Day of Giving, and it's going to be a day to give. If you haven't received information on that, and everybody should, you should have received a letter that looks something like this without giving away my home address too much. Please do consider helping to support through the Friends of Scouting campaign and through the CAC Day to Give. It's a great way to help support those camperships and make sure that we can get every scout and every youth to summer camp this year, the first time in 2 years, which makes it even more important that we get that done. So we did have one last minute question come in from Alicia Duncan, just under the wire. Caught the end of the vouchers. Do scouts pick up the fishing poles at the scout shop? So Kelly, do you want to clarify one more time? Because the answer to that question is 2 different ways depending on the date, right?
Correct. So if you get one of these vouchers, coupons, and you want to pick up your fishing pole, you called it the scout shop. We're calling it Crossroads Outfitters right now. I'm wearing the badge. You can do that up until May 1st. But you can't pick up your pole until April 26th. They're not in yet. We do have shipping confirmation on them though, so they are coming. But you can do that from April 26th to May 1st. And then on May 2nd, you will find them at one of our 20 fishing days across the council.
And again, it's for new scouts who sign up. And if you are on here and you have a scout already in the program, If your scout brings a friend, recruits them, and gets them into scouting, they get a fishing pole too, in addition to the normal recruiting patch or recruiter patch that they can wear in their uniform. So be sure that you're spreading the word and letting people know like that. And Kelly, this isn't in the chat. I just have to ask this question. How many fishing poles did we get? Because we obviously want as many scouts as we can get. How many fishing poles do we have?
I have 1,002 coming.
So there's the challenge, folks. If you are out there...
What's the one on my desk?
So 1,003, and that one is available as well. And Kelly is not allowed to keep it. We are going to give that one away to New Scout too. But really, that's the challenge, everyone. And once again, Kelly, Matt, thank you so much for your time tonight. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Have a wonderful night, gentlemen. The challenge is there. This is the start of our recruiting season. We're not waiting until fall 2021. We've waited long enough to get back into scouting the way that we're used to and the way that we want to do it. Let's start now. We have 1,003 fishing poles. Let us all collectively work together and get 1,003 new scouts, or with the help of some of our scouts, bringing in other scouts. Let's give away 1,003 fishing poles to get as many new families, as many families that may have fallen away because of the pandemic, get them back into scouting. Let's get as many scouts to summer camp as we possibly can. That's why we're here tonight. That's why we're doing this event. That's why we're doing the one on May 2nd. Ultimately, we want to spring forward. We want to spring back into scouting with a vengeance. We want to get as many families hooked on scouting as we possibly can. So thank you so much for joining me live tonight. If you've been on live with us on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, or on Periscope, please do me a favor just to help out with the algorithm. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, whatever the button is on the platform where you're at, hit it. Put a comment in the chat. We love comments. If you're watching this after the fact, if you're watching the recording, which is a fantastic advantage of using this format, please leave a comment as well and let us know where you're joining us from. And hit that like button, and most importantly, hit the share button. Send this video to somebody else in your unit who wasn't able to be here. Give them the information they need and help us help them bring more families back into the scouting program. So without further ado, my name is Matthew Kennedy, once again, your 2021 Fall Recruiting Chair, saying thank you, and thank you for all that you do for scouting. Have a great night. We'll catch you again sometime soon.
My mom says since joining Cub Scouts, I've got a new frame of mind. I just think it's fun.